Hi, today we talk about AI agents that are quickly becoming one of the most fascinating parts of artificial intelligence field. They're evolving fast and it can sometimes feel like the world is moving ahead without you. When you look at demos or tutorials, they might seem overly complicated or too technical, but the reality is actually very different. Agents on Latenode, for example, are much simpler to grasp than you might think, even if you've never written a single line of code. So in this lesson, we'll unpack everything step by step. What an agent is, how it functions, what kinds of tasks it can handle, and finally, how you can build your very first agent using Latenode. And the best part, you won't actually need to code at all. So what exactly is an AI agent? In simple terms, it's a system that can make decisions, plan steps, take actions on its own based on the information you provided. Agents in Latenode can manage entire workflows, call external tools, nodes, functions, and adjust when the conditions change. This is the way to picture it. Think of it as a digital assistant, one that can think, keep track of the context, and actually get the work done for you. What's the difference between agents and automations? On Latenode, you can create AI automations and AI agents. These two are often confused, but agents are not the same as automations. Take a basic AI automation as an example. Every morning, it runs on a schedule, collects messages from WhatsApp, processes them and sends summary back into the chat. Simple, predictable, but not an agent actually. Even if you make an AI automation more advanced, lead researcher, it takes a lead's information from a form, pulls data from several sources, and emails you with a brief and some calculations before a sales call. It's still not an agent. Why? Because it always follows a fixed, rule-based path, A, B, C. There's no reasoning involved. Now let's take a look at lead researcher AI agent. For example, you can ask it what specialist is this company currently hiring, and the AI agent will check the company's website. Or you can ask which leads have we had from this company, and the agent will look it up in your CRM. And that's reasoning, that's adapting, that's the difference. So to break it down, automations are static, predefined steps, and agents are flexible, dynamic, capable of reasoning. And what makes it possible? Three core components. The first is brain, large language model like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude that handles reasoning, planning, and natural language. The second is memory, the ability to recall past interactions or fetch context, and tools, how agent acts in real world, like sending emails, triggering other workflows, or even calling other agents. These tools can be anything from Gmail, Google Sheets, Telegram to more specialized APIs, anything you like. In Latenode, many of these are ready to use out of the box, and for anything else, you can simply connect through an HTTP request node. Don't worry if it feels like a lot of jargon right now. We'll break each part down step by step. The key idea is this: no matter how advanced, every agent is built from the same three pieces: brain, memory, and tools. There are different types of systems, and when you're just starting out, the smartest move is to start with single agent system. One agent, one job. Simple and clean. As you get more comfortable, you can step up into setups with multiple agents working together on Latenode. Imagine one acting as a coordinator or supervisor if you like, while the others specialize. Maybe one focuses on digging up information, the second handles the outreach, and the third is taking care of follow-ups. It's a bit like running a small digital team. Each agent has its own role, but together they can cover way more ground. Now, don't let this idea scare you. Multi-agents aren't some alien technology. They're just the same principles you learn here, repeated across different agents. The only thing that changes is how you connect or organize them. Of course, in some advanced fields like robotics or autonomous vehicles, these systems can get insanely complex. But for most real-world tasks, there's a simple golden rule. Always start with the most straightforward approach. If one agent makes the job done, don't overcomplicate it. If a plain automation works better than an agent, go with that instead. Simplicity wins every time. Add complexity only when it really makes your workflow better. So what kinds of things can you actually build with these agents? Honestly, a lot. You could set up a personal assistant that organizes your day and keeps you on track, or support manager, maybe a content personalization bot, a SMM helper, or even a legal doc reviewer that scans through contracts and points out what matters most. These aren't some futuristic ideas, they're all things that you can start experimenting with right now. And in this course, I will show you how to bring them to life in Latenode. And it's time to get hands-on. I'm going to show you how to build an AI agent in Latenode using a personal assistant as our example. I would recommend to build an AI agent in this order. First you add an AI agent node and then connect the tools you want. Configure these tools, decide the environment where the agent will run. Only then fine-tune the agent itself. Set the memory settings, write the system prompt and choose the model. Alright, let's add an agent. We'll call him Stanley. And now let's connect his tools. At this stage, we decide what we want from the AI agent and what it will work with. Open the node list and search for Gmail. What could be useful here? Create draft looks good. And let's also give the agent the ability to read our unread inbox, very useful for a personal assistant. We'll also connect our Google Calendar. And Todoist task tracker nodes. Give the agent permission to read from them and create items. Also, the quickest and easiest upgrade for our assistant is to add Perplexity search. Next up, tool configuration. As you might have noticed, some nodes show little triangles saying please complete the setup of this node. This means we need to fill in the required fields in the node before using them. If we open such a node, the first required field we'll come across is connection. And yes, for most integrations in Latenode to work, you'll need to authorize them. You can add the authorization right here, so let's do that. You can also do this in the authorization tab, where you can also see all your available authorizations. As you can see, I already have a few authorizations. And now let's add the remaining ones for our tools. And it's a good idea to give your integrations names, so you don't mix them up later. Now it's just 3 simple steps. First you give descriptive names to the tools and write their descriptions, which explain what each tool does. The agent uses this to decide when and whether to call them. And then tell the agent which fields to fill and how to fill them via the from AI agent operator. Some fields are pre-filled, some need a light edit, and some you'll set yourself, but overall it's straightforward. Let's take the Perplexity node, we'll give it a simple name, web search. So our agent can tell from the name alone what this tool is for. You'll see some fields are already filled in, but I would tweak them like this. Okay, now let's look at a more complex example. The Google Calendar list events node. First, we need to select our authorization and choose our calendar. And let's name it list calendar events and write the full description for this node. Retrieves events from Google Calendar. Probably within the specified window. Let's look at the fields we care about. Here we can hardcode the time zone, 2 hours. There's no need for the agent to fill it every time, so we set it to, in my example, is Nicosia. We can also check whether there are additional fields under the Show Advanced Settings toggle. And let's see. Look carefully and ask yourself, how can the agent retrieve information from this node about our calendar within a given time window? So it can, for example, create an event in a free time slot in our schedule. Okay, for that, the agent only needs to fill 2 fields, time max and time min. Let's put the from AI agent operator, and as you can see, the operator is filled in automatically, but I would make an adjustment. And let's repeat for the time min field. I'll just copy paste it. And that's it. Press the save button and we repeat this step. These steps for all the tools. Feel free to pause and watch how I fill in the fields. Then do the same on your side. Now let's decide where our agent will live, how we talk to it. And remember, every Latenode scenario starts with a trigger. In this case, we have trigger on run once, which triggers on this button. That could be also a mail hook, like this. If you want to interact with the agent via email or a Telegram trigger. We'll use Telegram here, but pick whatever works best for you. We'll delete these nodes and connect it to the agent. To use Telegram nodes in Latenode, you need to create your own Telegram bot. And it takes just a few clicks. Find the official botfather bot, create a new bot in its interface, and get the token, and authorize that token in Latenode. Okay, now we can use Telegram nodes in Latenode that are linked to our bot. Let's connect the trigger to our new authorization and set message on alert updates, so it triggers on every message. Click save, and let's add also the send text message or reply, so we can receive replies from our agent. And let's address it too. As you can see, we need chat ID, also the reply from the AI agent. So for now, just put the placeholders here so you can save it. We will get back to it later. We can test our trigger and fetch a mock message from Telegram to see the rough message structure returned by the Telegram API. For that, you need just click the run button and you'll see a JSON structure like this. So yeah, and it returns hello, this is a mock message. Okay, let's store the values we need in a set variable node so we don't have to look for them each time. Let's name it input and let's save message itself. It's in a text key and also the chat ID. Chat ID. Okay, nice. Now we can update our send text message node with the chat ID variable. And for the text, we need to get the same JSON structure from the AI agent, so we can find the key we need and we'll pass it here. For now, just save it. And finally, we can configure the agent itself. We need to set up the memory, write the system prompt, and choose the model. Let's dial in memory. This is the easy part. First, we need to set session ID to our chat ID, so the agent binds its memory to our chat. So we set the chat ID variable here. Secondly, we need to toggle this show advanced settings, and the second part is context window length, how many recent messages the agent will remember. The default value is 25, which is fine for most tasks. The larger this number, the more the model keeps in context, but don't overdo it. Too much context can confuse the model or lead to hallucinations if the context window gets overloaded. But over time you'll find the value that feels comfortable. And that's it for the memory. Next is system prompt. This is arguably the most important part of building your AI agent, where you can have the biggest impact on your assistant's effectiveness. Latenode has excellent documentation where you can access from this button on writing effective instructions for agents. You go to the documentation, to the advanced features, and here you can see the writing effective instructions prompting guide, best practices for writing agent instructions, where you can get the core structure and the example. Yeah, right there. So basically, you will want to include the following headers in Markdown format, which LLMs understand best. So the first is personality, who the agent is. The second, environment. The third is tone, goal of the agent, what it tries to achieve. Guardrails, what the agent should not do. And tools. You can add your own sections or remove ones that don't fit your concept. And there are two ways to write a structured prompt. First is ask ChatGPT to draft it. You just provide it with an example from the documentation, the structure, and you describe what you need and which tools the agent has. And the second is just write it yourself. I recommend combining both and spending some time experimenting. Your system prompt should be detailed and yet simple. And ChatGPT is great at producing a thorough first draft. Then you can simplify and tighten it yourself. You'll almost certainly iterate on the system prompt for a while. Each model behaves differently across tasks, the tools, and everyone's expectations of the output are a bit different. Feel free to look at my example prompt, use it as a starting point and adapt it to your needs. As you can see, I added my own sections for the personal assistant, which is workflow, user context, and current time, because it works with the calendar. Once we have connected and configured the tools, set up the environment and memory, and written the system, we can confidently choose the model. Because we have a fairly large context, varied tool use, and a need for some creativity, for example, drafting emails, a versatile model is best fit, and ChatGPT 5 or 5 mini works well here. Here you can look at the pricing, it's right there. 5 mini is significantly cheaper and still supports a large context, so I suggest starting with it for testing. And sorry about that, don't repeat my mistake. This is our system prompt, so it belongs in the system message field, not in user prompt where I just dropped it. The user prompt is for the message variable. That's the actual text coming from the Telegram bot. So we go to the tools, variables, and set the message variable here. And the last step is to pass the agent's response into the Telegram reply node. To do this, we will run a test execution of our agent by just clicking run, and it will return its JSON structure. And from there, we'll grab the key we need and paste it into the text field of our node. So we have Stanley here and just put it here. Click save. And now our agent is ready. We have tasks in the task tracker, unread emails, and a calendar. And let's see if our freshly built personal assistant can handle all this information. Let's ask it to check our inbox and see if there's anything that needs our attention. Okay, we got a reply. It found an urgent emails. Okay, let's continue prompting. And let's handle the payment first. So here we suggest him to find free time slot in our calendar, create an event in calendar, and add it to task tracker all at once. Let's see how it will work. And as you can see, our agent successfully handled the task using 4 different tools in a single request and navigating between them with ease. Now our calendar is updated, the task tracker is filled, and An email has either been prepared or sent right away, depending on how you have chosen to configure your personal assistant. Instead of clicking around in multiple services, we now manage everything from one place through our assistant, who has access to all these tools and executes our requests faster than a human could. And this is just a small glimpse of what this AI agent can do. I encourage you to experiment with it yourself, and for now I'll say goodbye. See you in the next episode where we'll explore more features for your AI agent.